you cannot balance that, all the conflict starts. So a leader should have a perfect balance of, if I go by Sigmund Freud, ID, ego, and superego. Then leader should be self-introspective. It is very important for a leader to understand himself or herself.
Leadership is about getting people to understand and believe in your vision and to work with you to achieve your goals, while managing is more about administering and making sure the day to day things are happening as they should. Hello and welcome to the Honest Talk by Freak Folks. I'm Harsh Pandey. For this particular session, we have with us very special guest, Ms. Anindita Mukherjee Sinha ma'am. She is the senior communication professional and head corporate communication at L&T MRHL with a professional experience of more than 3 decades. Fortunate to have enjoyed both the fields of operation and communication, working with public sector undertaking Airport Authority of India, global conglomerates, GVK Group Mumbai International Airport, GMR Group GMR Hyderabad International Airport Limited. She is currently working with the L&T Group L&T Metro Rail Hyderabad Limited, and she has won various accolades and awards for her work. So, first of all, ma'am, I welcome you to in this session. Thank you so much for joining and agreeing to share your thoughts with us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma. Thank you so much, Ash.
Thank you, ma'am. It's our pleasure. So, moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen, is the real difference between leadership and management. Management and leadership are no titles or states of being. Are you a leader or a manager? There are dynamic modes and behaviors. While there is a difference between the modes, neither mode is or should be exclusive one for a single any person. Ma'am, in your opinion, what are the key ingredients for strong leadership and effective management?
Well, since you have given me this topic, the real difference between leadership and management, I was just wondering that how do we drill down or define the word real? So I would say, and this is my perspective, in my opinion, R can stand for rational and righteous.
Okay.
E can stand for empathetic and evolving. A can stand for assertive and someone with attitude which is very positive,
Yes.
and L can be a learner and be a personality where you can levitate figuratively, not literally, of course, which means that you should be looked up by people. You should be a figure who's revered, respected, and someone who you can take it as your idol. So that is what the word real is for me. Yes, it can have many other adjectives, but for now, I think these came across my mind, to be very honest. And in leadership, if we say, if you want to really define the words leadership and management, and what is the difference, as you are saying. So, see, management is about the dealing process, how you control things or how you control people.
Mm,
Okay, so it is more about your administrative part of it, and the work, and how you carry out your day-to-day activities, getting things done. So this is about management. How you manage your work. It's I would say between these two, this is of a micro level. Now leadership, we can take it as a macro level term. Okay, it is about how you motivate people, how you want people to understand and believe in your vision. For that, I mean, of course, a leader should have a vision. There are some traits and qualities which a leader should have. I'll just come to those later. So it is believing in the vision which you set for the institution, the
mm,
organization, and to work with you on achieving your goals, how you make people follow you. Okay, so you lead something. Now, what do you mean by you lead something? Now, to be very honest, for me, I think anyone who starts a work with passion and self-confidence in himself or herself is a real leader.
Correct.
Even if you're starting to paint, okay, paint a picture, to cook a dish, to start a craft, okay, you are leading it because you are doing it with your passion, your confidence that you can do it, and with a mind frame that you are about to do something very positive, and the end result will be as you want it to be. So you lead it. So that is a leader. So leadership is the ability of an individual, or anyone, to how you influence and guide people. Okay, and suppose you have a team. I'm coming to an organization perspective. If you have a team in the business, so how you lead them, how you show them the path, how you guide them to perform better. Individuals who exhibit, to show this leadership qualities can move on to a higher level of performance. And when I say performance, it is not only the your the KRAs in an organization, the job description, but you can ascend to a different level of learning and commanding. You should not be demanding. Leaders should command and not demand. So how can you command? For that, you have to reach a particular position. So generally we say that the C-level positions, the CXOs, CEO and CXOs, they are the leaders because they have the team to work for them. But how do you reach them? So it is not necessary to, at least to me, I'm saying it is not necessary that only because you are in a CXO position, okay, you are a leader. There is a difference. Maybe literally you are, but figuratively there can be a gap. Are you a visionary? Okay, so there are some essentials of a leader to grow. How along with what I said, how you lead it, how you lead your team, how you develop, how you evolve, how you as I described the word, for E I said evolving. So how do you evolve as an individual, as a professional, and how you help your team to develop into good professionals and also good individuals, and ability to get the result out of it. What happens is typically when you set a target, when you set a goal for a particular work, you that time you are a leader because you are the what to say, you are creating the framework. Okay, so you are the father of that the work, the goal, the target. So you are the parent, father or mother, whatever, I don't want to go into gender. So you are the craftsman for that. Huh? So and then you become a leader. So as a leader, you create that craft. You are the craftsman for that particular work, particular project, particular institution, particular vision, particular the goal which you set. Now, when it comes to execution, then the management skill is required.
Correct.
So a leader can be a management manager also. Okay, it's because you get it done, but
Yes.
not necessarily all managers are leaders. Because to be a leader, you really have to be visionary. You really have to be a brand. Because what a leader can do? A leader can what to say? It's just about not about giving orders.
Yes.
Okay, there are many facets of leadership, and leaders should be, I mean, are or should be well versed with the principles. Okay, so there are different characteristic trait attributes, I would say, which can develop someone as a leader. Like first and foremost, you have to balance your ego, because what happens typically, why I'm taking it as a first point is whenever you reach a senior position, the ego builds in you, and that is the time you can really be a true leader.
Correct.
The way balance your egos. You know how Sigmund Freud said that it is very essential to balance your ID, ego, and superego. If you cannot balance that, all the conflict starts. So a leader should have a perfect balance of, if I go by Sigmund Freud, ID, ego, and superego. Then a leader should be self-introspective. It is very important for a leader to understand himself or herself. It is very important for a leader to have integrity, strong integrity, righteousness, which you remember I said, I described the word real for
Yeah.
art for righteousness. So integrity should be very high and strong. Then ability to delegate. Okay, so what happens is when you make a framework, then you delegate the task. So that there comes your commanding position rather than demanding position. Communication is something which a leader should be very, very particular about. You have to be an excellent communicator, a very effective communicator. It's said that it is generally we say as communication professionals that the art of communication is the language of leadership.
Hmm.
Okay, so the way you communicate, how artfully, how tactfully you communicate, a leader should know what not to say rather than what to say. This is very important because most of the conflicts happens when we don't have control on our speech or what we say.
Hmm.
So we have to master as leaders the art of not what not to say than what to say. So that is why it is said that the art of communication is the language of leadership. Then self-aware. It is very important a person to be educated, a leader to be educated rather than only qualified. Qualification is important, I fully agree, but you have to be very, very educated. Now, when I say educated, awareness, what is going around, the rights of people. A leader has to be inclusive, irrespective of caste, creed, community, gender. You have to be extremely inclusive for business sustainability. Then gratitude. If a leader cannot commend, cannot pat, cannot applaud his or her team member, not magnanimous enough to give them their due credit. Many times it so happens, see, here is a small difference between a manager and leader. A manager, at many times, what they do, they will get the work done by their team and they go to the senior management and present it as if the credit only goes to that person. Yes,
Yes.
the manager can be a guiding factor, but team's worth, team's credit, one should not snatch. A leader would not do that. What a leader would do, get the work done as it is required to be done and take it as a teamwork. So that is the difference between a leader and a manager. Then learning agility. It's very a learning. The mind should be very agile. Of learning. You cannot stick onto only traditional ways of work, traditional system, or any formula or anything which is going on. You have to be agile. You have to be very open. Here I mean very open minded, open to everything. The learning window should be very, very open. You should be influencer, and
Correct.
influencer not by words but by your action, by your personality, by your personal traits, attributes. Empathy is one of the most important thing of leadership. You have to be empathetic. You need not be sympathetic always. You need not be lenient always. Neither you should be nor you should be autocratic. You have to be empathetic. You have to understand your team. You have to understand the people working with you. And you must respect them the way you would have wanted someone to respect you.
Indeed.
uh, then so respect is very, very important. And courage is also very important. A
Yes.
leader, if a leader is very hesitant and does not want to take calculated risk, it is very important to do that, because then it becomes very difficult for experimentation, for innovation. So you should have the courage, and for that you should be confident about your field of work. So that these are very, very important, so you have to be a visionary. You have to work with a mission, and that as a leader you need to create that mission, vision, and values for the company, so that you can lead the organization, lead the institution, lead the people working for you, or with you rather. So this is again, the term should be more working with you than working for you, and a leader should believe in it. If you don't even believe in it, try to follow it as a leader. Okay, you should always consider people working with you than working for you. So that is something which is important. It's, you have to establish effective organizational structure, and protocols should be maintained. It's not that anyone can just come to you and speak to you the way, because you have a very lenient organization, lenient culture. It does not mean that. Your position, your personality should be that people should not dare come and disrespect you, and that does not happen in a day or two, but over the period of time, over the years. You have to evolve and develop yourself as a role model to inspire and motivate,
Correct.
which is very important.
Yes.
Yes. So it's more about a culture. Leadership, I would say, is a culture. It's a goal to create another leader. It is very important. A manager can, make choose his team. Okay, the manager can choose his team. The manager can change his team. The manager can direct his team. A leader, first and foremost, vision should be to create another leader, and that it helps in a business continuity also in the time of crisis. Business will not fall flat when you already are in a situation where you already are creating a leader, training a leader. They create a permanence with reputation, credibility, magnanimity, integrity, being an example, having a high standard of mission, vision, and values. This is very much important. So basically, to create a brand, what should a management, what does the management do? Whatever the institute, whether it's an institution or organization, or a startup, entrepreneurship venture, whatever it is, you want to be a brand, right? So to create that brand, first we should be a brand. To be when to be a lead as a leader, we should be a brand to create another brand. Unless we are a brand and people really look up to us, we cannot create another brand. So this is more or less difference between leadership and management. And the leader is expected to have an ownership for the work. When good times, you take the credit, but when in times of crisis, or any adverse situation, a leader always should come forward and own that crisis
Yes.
along with the applause. So ownership and owning the good and bad times is a true trait of a leader.
Correct, ma'am. I think you have very beautifully explained, and you have told many example. You have given many example and told many beautiful things. And actually, it was really a very insightful answer for me as well. And I'm sure the viewers, those who are watching this session, they are surely going to find this meaningful as well. Now, my next question to you is: as we have moved into this 21st year of this 21st century and passing through these very unprecedented times, the way we do business has changed. We now operate in a new environment that can be very aptly described as VUCA: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. The pace of change is fast and getting faster. Organizations are flatter, customer demands are ever increasing. Competition is global, and continuous disruptions are now considered as new normal. Ma'am, what do you believe? What is needed to survive in this, survive and thrive in such a VUCA world, and what kind of leadership do we need?
See, as I said, that yes, I mean, this is something, the time which we have never seen in our life, and it is something completely, I mean, of course, unprecedented. And, it is important that we move along with all the stakeholders involved around us. So, as a leader, for any to make any company excel as a brand, or to be tagged to have to develop a culture, it is important that the external and internal stakeholders have a healthy and productive shared value, if I may say
Mm.
so. So, how an employee relate to one another has an impact on the business, or the institution, or the the employees itself. So, and one thing I think we must, as leaders, we should believe in one thing, that our employees, our team, are the best brand ambassadors. We need not really spend, hundreds and lakhs on advertisement. If we have a very healthy, productive, and a cultured environment in
Yes,
our office or in any
that's most important.
institution, and we consider our team members as the best brand ambassadors for, where it is, I mean, it has to flourish, it
Mm.
has to stay, it has to be permanent, so it is imperative to keep a close watch on how a customer, or if we can call it a customer, is connecting with us, connecting with the brand. It is very important, now, see, because see now, the style also have changed in this pandemic. It has shown
Correct.
us, so staying in is the new going out,
Mm.
we say. Okay, so we should, the entire ethos of the brand, the mission and vision, should be centered on selling credibility, being humane, being more, what to say, practicing than preaching. And it is called, sociology, there's a term called collective effervescence. Okay, so we all should be together on the same page. It should, the brand ethos of any brand, or us, or the leaders, or the leaders, or the brand which the leader is associated with, should resonate for a longer time, and should have a positive influence on our client, or customer, or consumer, whatever we call their behavior and habits in accepting us as a brand. This is very important. We should, like, uh, what to say now, there was a Deloitte study I was reading some days back. It says that even though the time is difficult in terms of, I say, the economy, okay, but now people are more concerned on physical health.
Yes.
That remains in high compared to the concerns on
Mm.
financial health. Even, of course, I understand that it is very, very important even to support the financial, I mean, your physical health, but people are giving more importance to it. So it's a like shift in your focus which is happening, so, striking a balance between a competitive advantage and corporate social responsibility, which is not only CSR which a company has, but our commitment, our, I would say, our, we should feel responsible to the society, to the people who need us. And we, even in with our limited capability of capacity, we can make a difference, we can help them, we can extend a helping hand to them. So the entire focus has changed, and here comes a true leader who does it. It has to be very inclusive, as I said, and empathetic towards the employees, towards the team. It is very much important. So we should now escalate from the, from just being a management to be in the leadership,
Mm.
level or position. They, because see, the consumers are now are more aware how business interacts, how nowadays, people have started seeing that how a consumer is connected with the society and public at large. So the entire focus has changed. This situation has really, I would say, changed our personality trait and way of thinking. So that is where you should need that there is a need for accurate, trusted, and up-to-date data on how people feel and how they intend to engage with us. Okay, the engagement. Then we have to be very value conscious, along with being a health conscious individual and a leader. There should be purpose. The work and the leader and the institution should be very purposeful. If you've seen many renowned brands nowadays, they have the way they advertise. If you advertise, if you see in the TVCs and other, they have a story to tell.
Correct.
Okay, it is not just selling a brand. Okay, that you buy this soap, you buy this jewelry, you buy this coffee, you buy this XYZ product, but they tell a story to it.
Correct.
Why? Telling a story means credibility. There's nowadays the brands are selling credibility more than the product. Their their how they're established as a very value based brand. Okay, they say that. Even in fact, there's a very I just saw one ad of a very renowned jewelry brand, and trust me, it has nothing to do with girls' education, or I mean, any jewelry brand. It has nothing to do with girls' education or women-oriented policies and loans and pensions and all that. But they have shifted. They have drifted from just a direct selling of the product, then telling stories on women development and empowerment. So that is the value add they are bringing to their brand. This is very, very important. So, the consumer sentiment is evolving. Okay, so as consumers feel safer now, they are prepared to go back to activities which they have left some days back. Therefore, any brand, whatever it is, need to capture, the sentiment of the people. The sentiment.
Right.
They should go by their selling what they are supposed to. So as you said, that it is a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous situation. So what best we can do is make the best use of it, because we still are in an uncertain state. We
Yes.
don't know what is going to happen. We are being positive because the trend is positive. Still, I think that now as a leader, more our humane and empathetic and inclusive nature should come out more than just mere management at a micro level.
Absolutely. I think, ma'am, again, it was really a very wonderful answer from your side, and you have actually pointed and stressed on the part which really need to be discussed. And I'm really grateful to you, ma'am, for this. And I'm sure there's a lot more to learn from you. But today, I don't want to take too much of your time. So, moving to my last question of this session, or rather, it's a kind of request to you, ma'am. What are the some tips or advices would you like to suggest to young millennials?
Well, I would say that first of all, you should focus on self development and self introspection. I would recommend everyone to study that. In management. There's a grid called Johari window. It has four quadrants, and there you can gather yourself. You can understand. It's about your self knowledge. How to know yourself, because Harsh, if I right now tell you that Harsh, write 5 points negative about you, positive about you, you will take the pen, I can bet, and you have to think for 2 minutes. Why you have to think
Right.
for 2 minutes? You should know yourself better, right? So, but we don't know ourselves better, and there is the problem. What lies deep, because we don't know how to act and react. So we should know ourselves. So I would recommend everyone to study that Johari window. It talks about your knowing yourself, and yourself known by others, not known self not known by yourself, and known by not known by others. So it's basically your hidden self, blind self. It's a four very beautiful quadrant. One should study that. Self introspection is very, very important. You should be confident, you should be very human and inclusive of the environment around. You should be patient and resilient. This pandemic has taught each one of us to be extremely resilient. Unless we are resilient, unless we are strong in mind, we cannot move on. And moving on is the only truth. trust me, Harsh, there are no two ways about it. We have to move on no matter whatever the situation it is. I know it's very easy to say, maybe difficult to when you experience it, but do you have any other choice?
No.
You have to move on today or tomorrow or day after. So why not immediately gather yourself and move on?
True.
Patience is something which we have to teach ourselves to be. We have to be patient. Yes, I know the job market is bad. The situation is very negative around. You have a lot of mental stress. Every tunnel has to end up to a light, and you will get light at the end of the tunnel for sure. And you have to be stay little positive. Things will change. There is all whenever there is a what how, why do we call it a curve? It goes up, comes down, and again goes up. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to be very confident. We have to know our rights and be aware. There are many facilities, loans, different ways of doing business. Ease of doing business is something, all the parameters someone should learn, because now it is the time to be Atmanirbhar, as the government
Correct.
says, self-resilient, self-sufficient. So even if you have lost a job, you have to think of other, take some financial guidance. You have to see how the policies are, how the bank loans are given for women, especially for women. What are your rights in the society? What are the special, facilities you're getting for the government? You have to make yourself, the millennials, extremely patient, extremely resilient, extremely self-aware. Know your rights. You have to empower yourself and educate yourself more than your qualification. Maybe this is the time you should spend more on reading. Everything is not a shortcut, which the unfortunately the millennials believe in nowadays. Even I have two young sons at home, so everything cannot lead to it cannot lead you by a shortcut method. But yes, you have to be a 360 degree. You have to have a 360-degree perspective of every subject, and you have to be knowledgeable. You have to read a lot. Please read newspapers and try to be data driven, tech savvy, digitally very educated, and analytical, and a very wonderful, effective communication skill one should possess. And try to lead whatever small you do. Because then you become a leader, and the more you do it, the more you will trust yourself, the more you will trust others, and the more you grow up in your life, you will be even more confident. But you have to start somewhere. Failure is the only threshold to
Right.
your next success. So this is the tip I would like to really give it to someone. And really, I generally tell the millenniums a short one thing I will say: have the right attitude. And what is right attitude? Right attitude is something, if you take the word attitude and take the A as one and go on adding the letters as per the numerics, you will end up adding it at 100. A plus T, if you go, it equals to 100, which means you should give 100% to your life, to your work, and not 100% what you can do, but what expected for you. And why right attitude is important is because there, I will end up with a quote: your talent determines what you can do.
Correct.
Your motivation determines how much you're willing to do. And trust me, these talks cannot motivate enough the way you can motivate yourself. You have to be a self motivator. So your
Right.
talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you're willing to do, but your attitude, your right attitude, determines how well you do it. And that is all my message to the new millennials, and wish them safety, wish them all the best. They are the future of our country, of our nation, and they will definitely make us proud.
Indeed, ma'am, it was really very wonderful advice from your side. I'm sure the viewers who were watching this session, they are surely going to take this. And I'm sure, ma'am, it is really very helpful for me as well. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining and giving your important time. It was a kind of healthy conversation with you. We look forward to conduct more sessions with you in future. Thank you, ma'am.
On the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone.